It's a beautiful Friday night here in northern Hancock County. The boundary rail on top of that. It's a rivalry game between North and South here in Hancock County. Here on 9-Star TV, the New Palestine Dragons, top ranked in Class 4A, taking on the number 10 Mount Vernon Marauders. Along with Coach Bob Bartolomeo, I'm Kurt Darling, live from Hancock Health Stadium here in Mount Vernon High School, Fortville, Indiana here. Coach, good to be with you here tonight as we have two very competitive teams. These are two teams that have gotten very familiar with each other over the last few years with the boundary rail going back and forth between them.
Yes, sir, and it's a great night for football. The weather is perfect, great crowd. New Pal, as usual, traveled really well, and Mount Vernon's whole side here is packed for a homecoming game, and we expect a lot of fireworks as these two teams get after one another.
Homecoming and a rivalry game. Not a better combination you could be had here on a Friday night here in the state of Indiana. Of course, Coach, you and I, we were on the call of Decatur Central New Palestine a couple of weeks ago. Needless to say, we got our first taste of just how good this New Pal ball club is. Meanwhile, Mount Vernon, they have been historically good of late here over the last couple of seasons, even winning a state championship last year, but they lost a lot in graduation. Still looking to be competitive here tonight.
Yeah, Coach Leidy and his staff does a great job of preparing his team to battle, and it's just a matter of whether physically they can hang with the New Pal fronts, both offensively and defensively.
You got a very stout offensive line here for the New Palestine Dragons, headed up by Luke Burgess and Ian Moore, the two Division I recruits. Of course, Luke Burgess going to be playing at Louisville next year. Ian Moore is a junior, still undecided on what he's going to be doing next year. Needless to say, though, it's a tall task going up against that offensive line if you're the Mount Vernon defense.
Yeah, besides those two, the interior guys are pretty good too. You look at their center and two guards, they're really stout individuals, guys that go 280 plus, and they do a great job in all five in the combination of their blocking ability as well as running it and pass protection.
Speaking of running it, Grayson Thomas on your screen right now, 52 carries, 477 yards, averaging 9 yards per carry. Of course, running behind what he considers to be, what in his words, the best offensive line in the state, as we just talked about.
Yeah, old Grayson, he's come a long way. I'll tell you, they played him as a true freshman, and we were able to have some games with him and seen his growth both physically and mentally in terms of handling that football. And he does a great job once he has the football in his hands. Real explosive runner and also a threat catching the football.
And then on the other side of the ball, you have Eli Bridenthal, going to be playing baseball at Xavier next year, but still a heck of an athlete for this Mount Vernon squad. Now he's listed as a quarterback on the depth chart here, but you see him pretty much playing almost any position on offense when it comes to being a specialty player.
Yeah, he's a really great athlete, as pointed out by the Indianapolis Star. Had a great article this morning on three sport athletes, and his name was front and center in terms of being mentioned there. Great athlete, got great size at 6'3" and 190, a senior. He's been there, and so they're expecting him to do a lot of things for this football team.
So this is a Mount Vernon squad coming into this contest 1-2 on the year. They came off of a narrow victory against an up-and-coming Greenfield Central team in HHC play to get things moving in conference play. Now, Coach, this game right here, historically over the last couple of years or so, has been the deciding factor on who actually wins the Hoosier Heritage Conference Championship. Mount Vernon has won it twice in a row here coming into tonight, thus going on to win the HHC championship because, they go on to beat the rest of the conference. So needless to say, this has been the deciding factor. Could that be again here tonight?
Well, that's why they line it up, and it'll be interesting to see. I think both teams are feeling themselves out, so to speak. New Pal knew this group was going to be a successful group. They've been building this thing for about 3 or 4 years coming into this season, and Coach Ralph's really fired up about this group. It's likewise Coach Leidy. He's regrouping a little bit and playing some young kids, and he's got, play the hand that's dealt him in high school. They can't go out and recruit, so he's fired up, though, about his group, and hopefully they can hang tough early is going to be really important for this group.
The New Palestine Dragons won the toss, and they have elected to receive. So that means they are going to be putting their high-octane offense in Grayson Thomas, Daniel Tippett, Blaine Nunnally, Ian Thacker, and many other supporting characters on the field first here tonight for the Battle of the Boundary Rail. We're underway, and it's a short kick And we have a whistle before the kick. They're going to wave it off. We'll see what we have on the call here. It looks like the officials may not have been set for the kickoff, so it looks like we're going to do this again here, Coach. Kind of jumping the gun, so to speak.
I think the kicker got a little excited there. And looks like he went before he was singled to start the game. And, again, going to get coached up by the officials. I hope they don't throw the flag and just reload this thing and kick it again.
Of course, IHSAA, a healthy part of a complete education. Well, the kicker getting a little bit educated right here before he can kick the ball in. So we're going to have another kickoff here as the New Palestine Dragons 3-0 coming into this contest, coming off a decisive win on the road at Yorktown. This is the second of a 3-game road stand for the New Palestine Dragons. So we're going to do this again, and now Coach Lighty is telling him to back off, and we'll do this one more time.
Yeah, well, he's a little he talked to me earlier this week about his kickoff coverage, and he had a concern. They had one returned against him last week, and so I can see what he was going to do early is pop that thing up, and now it looks like he's going to kick it deep.
So now we finally have a kickoff, and it takes a Marauder bounce into the hands right there of Kyler Kropp, and he splits it right up the middle, puts a stiff arm on the kicker, and gets across midfield down to the 40-yard line.
Well, it's right what Coach talked about. Their kickoff coverage was a little bit at fault last week, and they need to shore that thing up here to handle the deep kick. The kick was great. It went over the receiver's head, landed at the 1, took a great bounce, didn't go in the end zone, and they should have covered that one a little bit better.
So great field position to start off here for Daniel Tippett, who is the starting quarterback here for the New Palestine Dragons, with the supporting cast of Grayson Thomas as well as Blaine Nunnally, Isaiah Thacker, and Ty Mitchell going to be the featured backs and receivers that he'll be working with tonight. And the first give is to Grayson Thomas, immediately tackled right there by Sean Taylor of the Marauders.
A nice play there by Taylor, making that play and doing a good job scraping and making the stop.
Of course, one of the keys that Coach talked about before the game here, Coach, is the fact that running the ball. And needless to say, they know exactly how to do that, but they know how to throw it as well. Looking deep for Nunnally, and some ticky-tack coverage right there. No flag on the play as Jaden Gibson keeps the ball out of the hands of Blaine Nunnally.
Took a shot, good field position there. On second down after running the ball, they sent their receiver deep and trying to make a big play with the great field position. 3rd and long.
So a big 3rd down here for the Mount Vernon defense. Play action to Thomas. He has a lot of running room for a 1st down and sheds a tackle out of the hands of Breidenthal.
It's like an inside zone there, and he made a nice cut back to the outside and had the perimeter caved in, so to speak, on the left side, and he ran by there. They had a guy there to make the play, and he just missed.
So a fresh set of downs here for the Dragons. Thomas on the give from Tippett. And there's just a lot of initial contact right there as you see Kellen LaBelle. And on the tackle there, who is the younger brother of one Keegan LaBelle, who was the featured running back a year ago for Mount Vernon.
Great football player and played both ways and a very integral part to their state championship run.
Now playing at Marion is Keegan LaBelle. Had a big touchdown in their season opener a weekend ago. So call it 2nd down and 2 here for Tippett. And a flag on the play here. Looks like it's a false start. It looks like, Coach, you saw that from a mile away.
Yeah, I was a little hesitant there in terms of the defense. I didn't know if they got into the neutral zone trying to draw them off, but evidently they didn't. And then on the second try, they got the offensive line to drop.
So New Pal getting charged their first penalty of the ball game, backing up 5 yards. Still in good field position here just across the 20-yard line on the Marauders side of the field. Here's Tippett back to pass, and it's a screen out to Mitchell, and he gets clobbered by a sea of Marauders, but we have a flag on the play. It looked like there may have been a hand on a face mask there, Coach. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I didn't see that when I was watching the pursuit from the inside. I thought that Mount Vernon did a great job initially of securing the gaps up front and then running to the football.
So it's going to be a face mask against the Marauders. And just saw a little bit of grabbing right there on the face mask of Mitchell.
Yeah.
So back it up 5 yards. A subsequent penalty gives the Dragons a net 10-yard gain here. Tip it on the fake. Grayson Thomas runs into his own line, has to cut it back to the left side, and heads over the 15 down to the 12.
It looks like enough for a first down on a second down play. Again, they're controlling the line of scrimmage right now up front, and Mount Vernon's really changing their defense up, moving guys and taking the different gaps.
New Pal can get the first down here without scoring. Grayson Thomas finds a hole, and it immediately closes after he punches through it down to about the 7.
Now they hold them to 3-yard gains. They'll be in good shape. Good scrape play by the linebackers there, and I thought that up front they did a nice job of controlling the line of scrimmage at that point on defense.
Tyler Kimberly as well as Roland Trimble in there on the tackles. Tyler Kimberly, the leading tackler for the front line here of the Marauders. Thomas again on the carry, and he goes nowhere.
56 again involved in the play. He's been pretty active there up front.
That is Ben Percival, 5'11" senior. So a big third down here. Marauders showing blitz. And New Pal taking their time here. Tippett with a quick throw into the end zone, just over the hands of his receiver, incomplete. Trying to find Isaiah Thacker, one of 3 Thacker players on this New Pal squad. And a big stop right there for Mount Vernon.
Great stop for him. Hold him to a field goal attempt here, maybe. You never know with Ralph. He may fake it, but again, great stop for that defense so far.
So this will bring on Brendan Tanksley, who has a couple made field goals already this year and has not missed an extra point. So from about 25 yards out, and now here's a whistle, looks like a delay of game. Either that or a timeout going to be called here by New Pal. We'll see what the ruling is. And did they call delay of game there?
I'm not sure if they've made a call yet. Yeah, it looks like it. They're marching off 5.
So now going to make it about a 30-yard field goal, as indeed it is the delay of game call there from the officials. So
good call there, Kirk.
Going to move it on back here still, but still well within the range of Tanksley to try and get the first 3 points of the ball game here on this one. It's on the way, and it is through the uprights. So a 3-0 early lead here for New Pal, but needless to say here, Coach, given the high-octane offense that New Pal brings to the table, that's a net win for the Marauder defense.
Big win for that defense. Anytime you can hold the white team there, New Pal, to 3 points, especially on a long drive like that, they had some big plays, starting with the kickoff return, and had great field position to start with, and their defense was right away put with their backs to the wall and did a great job on holding them just to 3 points.
So I mentioned at the top of the broadcast that this is the battle for the Boundary Rail. Of course, that is the traveling trophy between these two ball clubs. Now, the Boundary Rail talks about the railroad that separates essentially the border between these two school districts, between Mount Vernon and Southern Hancock County School Corporation, which is New Pal. So ever since 2005, which it already was a heated rivalry between these two ball clubs anyway, they decided to fashion an old piece of railroad from that old railroad that no longer exists now into the traveling trophy that these two ball clubs play for, and it has been in the hands of Mount Vernon the last 2 years. So there you see head coach Kyle Ralph wanting to try and get that trophy back in the hands of New Pal.
Anytime you have a trophy game, so to speak, adds a little bit more incentive into the fight in terms of the intensity of the game. And this game obviously didn't need any more, but you add that trophy game in there, and it sure does amp it up.
Certainly an amped-up atmosphere tonight. Not a seat available here inside of Hancock Health Stadium. So Tanksley, end-over-end kick going to be taken here by Mount Vernon. And some excellent coverage there on special teams for New Pal.
It starts with the kick. I tell you, there's a great high, had a lot of height to the kick, had a lot of depth to it, and I think he fielded it at about the 2. But because of the height of the kick and the hang time, they were able to get on underneath the kick and covered it tremendously there in terms of giving the ball to the offense at the 15 there.
Looked like Trey Jones on the kick return coverage there for Mount Vernon. So some less than impressive field position here for the Marauders to start things off as Luke Ertl, the freshman lefty, getting the start tonight here at quarterback for the Mount Vernon Marauders. And there's a delay of game right out of the gate here for Mount Vernon.
Freshman quarterback, his first time in terms of being in probably a big game. And again, Luke will do a good job. He's just got to come back and make some plays and relax. And Toby Jacobs is the offensive coordinator, does a great job. And again, he got to get the play into him so that if he is checking, he has some time to get that done.
So they changed the play here, as now it's 1st and 15. This time the handoff goes to LaBelle, and he makes up at least some of that penalty yardage, gets back to the 14.
Now the defense was kind of sitting there waiting for him. Baylor Hurst, DB, along with the linebacker. I didn't get the number on him, but both those came up and had clear shots and made great contact. He did gain 4 yards, though.
Ashton Julian now in the backfield with Ertl. Ertl back to throw for the first time tonight and has his receiver Trey Jones for a decent gain out past the 20, called at about the 22-yard line.
Looks like he dropped it, Coach. I don't know if he dropped it or if he was out of bounds. It was hard to tell with the team right there.
Couldn't quite see if they had come down with the ball there, so they're going to call that one incomplete.
Great throw by the young man, though. Is a nice lefty, good throw through it where the guy could catch it, and again, did a great job.
So 3rd down and long here for Ertl. So far has passed for just over 500 yards this season. Ertl has to scramble out of the pocket. Fires downfield into coverage, tipped up and dropped, nearly intercepted by Mount Vernon. Daniel Thacker had his paws on it and just couldn't come down with it.
Ertl got away with one there. That as you said, could easily been intercepted. But I think there's another penalty on the play there, and refs are talking it over. But I'd say if it's against Mount Vernon, they'll decline it and make them punt the football.
And the punting unit was just coming onto the field here for Mount Vernon, but now Coach Leidy not so sure. We'll see what the penalty is here. It's going to be an illegal formation. Oh, legal forward pass, excuse me. Looks like the freshman was just beyond the line of scrimmage, so that's going to negate the play regardless of if it was completed. So 4th down here, so either way, Mount Vernon definitely going to have to punt the ball here.
A couple early mistakes by the rookie there, Luke Ertl, and again, he's got to do a better job of getting the play, and they got to get the play off, and then the penalty on the pass over the line of scrimmage. But, boy, he throws a nice football for a 9th grader. He's going to be okay.
So here's Dean Helms And looks like we have a fake taken here by Mount Vernon. And it was dropped and picked up by NewPal. I have no idea what just happened right there, Coach, but NewPal comes up with the football. And it looks like it was an illegal. It may have been an illegal snap or just a fumbled snap on the punt. Either way, it's NewPal ball in the red zone. Oh, my goodness.
Strange play. Very strange. I'm trying to get a replay here to see exactly what happened, and we'll get to that here in a second.
And special teams has been nothing short of entertaining tonight, to say the least. Couldn't quite get a feed on what happened there. Either way, NewPal with the ball on the Marauder 7. Here's Tippett now on the run on the outside. Gets past the 5 and gets shoved out of bounds inside about the 4. So just like that, NewPal has flipped the field in a big way.
Yeah, nice play, just a true quarterback run around the end, and NewPal had it defended not bad. Guys are running from sideline to sideline.
Here's Thomas, gets tripped up right there by Tyler Kimberly, who got taken down by the offensive line of NewPal, and that saved him a touchdown right there.
He's been noticeable, hasn't he? Oh, 56 there, Tyler Kimberly. He's made a couple plays now in the backfield of tripping up the runners before they could get going.
So Mount Vernon held him in the red zone earlier. Going to try and do it again here. Tippett on the keeper, and he gets tackled in the backfield for a loss. What a play there. That is Kellen LaBelle with a big tackle for loss right there.
Did a nice job of playing both the dive and the quarterback there, and moving his feet and then making the big stop on Tippett for a TFL.
And just like that, Coach, another field goal situation after NewPal was literally served up an opportunity at a touchdown on a silver platter, and they come up empty again. So here's Tanksley for field goal number 2. And this time again, as the first time, he puts it through the uprights. So 2 very short drives here for NewPal. Only 2 field goals, Coach.
Great job by the defense on both drives. Both been put in precarious position. First drive started with the great kickoff coverage, and then the second drive obviously inside the 10 with the fumble on the punt. And again, to rise up and stop that potent offense like that has got to give a shot in the arm. You know, they're a touchdown away from taking a lead, and the game's been played mostly inside their 20-yard line.
And you mentioned earlier, Coach, about how Coach Leidy, one of the things he wanted to try and do tonight was run the ball against this NewPal defense. You saw a lot more throwing on that first drive here, so what do you do if you're Coach Leidy to try and change things up to get some rhythm going?
I think you got to keep mixing it up. I really do. I think you got to run it a little bit and throw it. You got to keep that defense off balance. They're awful good on defense. They fly around. They were very good against both the run and pass. And then, they got to let the freshman settle in because he can throw it a little bit. So, again, it's all whether they can block him up front to run the football.
This is a NewPal defense that shut out a 5A-ranked Decatur Central 2 weeks ago and then only allowed 13 points against Yorktown to begin conference play last weekend. So it's a stout defense to say the least. So Tanksley going to look for another good kick here. And once again, it's Jones going to be taking it at his own goal line. He has to run it out and gets stopped up again right at the 15.
Hate to be redundant, but it's the same MO. I mean, the kicker does a great job of getting height and giving their coverage team enough time to get underneath it to cover the kick. And they do a good job of covering the kick with that type of height because that ball's coming down at about the 2-yard line.
So the freshman Ertl coming back out here with, again, a multitude of backs that he'll be working with tonight. You have Jaliba Brogan now lined up in the pistol behind him. There's the pitch to Brogan. And he has a little bit of running room out past the 20 for a solid gain of about 5.
I think you got to keep mixing it up. You know, throw it a little bit, run a little bit. Nice 5-yard gain on a first down play. Trying to get outside of the defense more so than running straight at them.
Brogan, 12 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown coming into tonight's contest. Ertl, quick pass, nice completion to Jones, and that's close to a first down. And it looks like he'll just have enough, Coach.
I don't know. The guy's coming in from the far side is going to be the key.
The line to gain is the 31, and the
there you go.
Main head official is going to eyeball it and give him the first down.
Nice eye, Kurt.
So the first down of the ball game here for Mount Vernon.
A little two tight end set, 2 wide outs.
Pretty standard formation here in the gun for Ertl. Has some time. Airs it out, and great coverage there by NewPalestine. Looked like that was Mason Hyatt there and on the coverage as Ertl was trying to air it out there to his receiver. And that was Tyler Etherington.
That's a basketball name, isn't it? Etherington. They play a lot of hoops around this area.
Austin Etherington, Alex Etherington. Here's Ertl with the pure handoff there to Brogan and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
They got to get the ball to Vernon. I mean, somehow, some way, the kid that's going to Purdue, somehow they got him split out here a little bit. Let's see what they can do. Going to empty set, but trying to get the ball to him a little bit.
7 have not seen George Burhen at all tonight, who is another talented 3-sport athlete here at Mount Vernon. Here's Ertl in the pocket, has to step up, airs it downfield looking for Breidenthal, and maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there because Breidenthal had checked up by the time that Ertl had thrown the ball, and it just goes out a little bit fewer, 3 or 4 yards ahead of him.
Don't want to coach, but I'd say the way Coach Jacobs got after Breidenthal, that he's the one that kind of gave up on the play, and one that they thought that could keep running down the slot there to go one-on-one with a safety.
High snap this time. The punt shanked out of bounds. Not a good punt there at all, maybe about a solid 10 yards or so. And it's going to be placed as the official will walk it back here. It's going to be about maybe the 35.
Yeah, it looks like number 3, I think it's Rodebush there. It might have, if he didn't get a hand on it, he made the punter punt the balls to not very well. Got it off the side of his foot.
Again, the punter, Dean Helms, a junior for this Mount Vernon squad. And once again, excellent field position. In fact, NewPalestine has not started on their own side of the field at all in this contest. Pressure coming, but wide open is Kropp into the end zone for the first touchdown tonight for the Dragons. A big play goes for 33 yards from Tippett.
That was a blown coverage. I think that the corner stayed at home, and I'm not sure where the safety went. They ran the old bubble screen and go. They faked the bubble screen and hit number 2 up to shoot for a big play.
That's Kyler Kropp's second receiving touchdown of the season, his 3rd overall. He also has a rushing touchdown.
Well executed by their offense. Starting with the fake on the bubble screen and going up to shoot with number 2 and, again, making the play. And it was a good throw.
So the PAT is good, making it a 13-0 ball game here for NewPalestine. And it has been slow going here, to say the least, for NewPal, but they have been consistent in getting the ball down the field to at least get points on the board.
Yeah, the first 2 drives, the defense hung in there. Here's a good look at the touchdown.
Again, it's homecoming night here in Fortville. A packed house here at Hancock Health Stadium. Glad you could join us tonight here on 9 Star TV as the Marauders going to try and cut back into this lead here against NewPal to try and keep the boundary rail here in Fortville.
Yeah, you can see there the number 2, the safety defensive back went for the bubble screen, and he left his man all alone, and it was a little stutter and go by number 2 that went up to shoot. And when I mean by number 2, it's the second receiver in. Really, actually, it was the third receiver in, the second receiver in, because the 3 did the bubble fake. And it was a great setup, a great throw and catch, and again, hit him in stride, and it's 6 points for NewPal.
This time it's going to be George Burhen taking the ball out, and he tries to power his way right up the middle, sheds a couple tackles, and keeps things going out past the 35. Now that is what you want in a return right there, Coach.
Yeah, it's a great individual effort by that young man, and again, I think they got to get the ball in his hands a couple times here and get him going a little bit to get a couple first downs and just to settle down and keep your defense off the field for a little bit.
Another good look at that effort right there. It's all of 6'5", 202 pounds.
Ran hard.
So here's Ertl again. And gives the ball again to Brogan, who has gotten the ball here the last 4 carries that they have tried to run the ball, and a gain of about 4 yards.
Taking it right to the front of NewPal, and that's a pretty formidable front there with Raines and Brownfield and Michael Thacker. He's a player. They're all really good players.
NewPal with an excellent feeder system. Good culture built here by Coach Kyle Ralph. Here's Ertl, though. And he's going to have to tuck it and run, and he maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage before he gets tackled out of bounds. And speaking of building cultures here, you know, Mount Vernon, they too have built a really good football culture, just culture and athletics culture to say the least, with Coach Mike Kirshner coming in a few years ago. Of course, now Kirshner has gone on to coach at Warren Central, but Vince Lighty tasked with keeping things up, and he has certainly done that so far.
He's done a great job. That was a busted pattern. They had 3 guys in the same area within 10 yards of each other, so there was easy to cover that from the defensive standpoint.
So we're inside of 3 minutes here in the first quarter. Ertl feeling the pressure, has to get rid of it looking for Burhen, but leaves it a little bit too high for the 6'5" frame of his tight end, and it's another 3 and out here for the Marauders.
Good coverage. It was a nice ball. He threw it where he had to. I mean, it would have taken a great catch by Burnham, but again, it's a nice ball by that freshman quarterback. He throws a nice, easy, catchable football.
Just a little bit too high for his receiver. So now you have Bridenthal going to be taking over the punting duties here. Again, the man of many hats on this squad here for Mount Vernon, and it's a much better punt this time as it's a wobbly spiral, and it goes into the hands of Isaiah Thacker. Sheds the first tackler, but the special teams unit is there to get it down at the 35 and finally give NewPal an honest effort to try and get some points on the board.
Good field position now for the defense, hopefully to get a 3 and out and try to make a play here defensively, whether it's a turnover or just a 3 and out to, again, give the Marauder offense a chance.
NewPal leads the all-time series between these two teams, 35-24-1. Here's Thacker, or rather Tippett, excuse me. He sheds a tackler, gets out past the 40, and he skitters out of bounds just enough for a first down.
Smart play, didn't see anything there and just tucked it and took off. And again, got some pressure on him. Made him step up, and but he didn't panic. Sign of a veteran leader. Daniel trip it.
So they're going to say that he stepped out of bounds 2 yards shy of the first down, so it's going to be 2nd down and 2. Tippett gives the ball off to Thomas. We haven't seen him called in a while, but he powers forward across the first down marker and gets a couple yards after. And so they stop the clock to move the chains here, and a timeout going to be called by Mount Vernon. Coach Leidy coming out to meet his team in the middle of the field here, and he is not happy with one of his players right now, to say the least, Coach. There you see Coach Leidy trying to fire up his defense a little bit here as they give up another first down. So still working through this timeout here as the New Palestine Dragons up 13-0 right now off of a big touchdown from Kyler Kropp in the early going, along with 2 field goals from Tanksley. Again, there's Coach Leidy. 15-3 in his 2nd year.
Vince is running the defense, and I've coached Vince. He's a tenacious kid and gets it honestly. So his dad was a great coach down in Castle for many, many years.
And there you see he's the 5th coach in IHSAA history to win a state championship in his first season as the head coach of a team. So here's Thomas. Gets across midfield.
That was a great run. They had it somewhat clogged up there in the backfield, and Thomas just planted that outside foot, gave a little stutter step and planted it and got up the field for a 5-yard gain. Great run there.
So call it 2nd down and 5 in plus territory for the Dragons. Here's Tippett. Plenty of time to throw, looking for Thacker. Tight coverage there, incomplete. Ren Davis hit on that there for the Marauders.
I think that was Jaden Gibson on the coverage, cornerback for 5'10", 155 pounds, junior. Did a nice job of squeezing the receiver into the sideline and making it a great catch if he caught it at all. Nice play by the defensive back. Got it at 3rd down now. Money down. They got to get off the field.
The Marauder defense has been competitive tonight, especially on 3rd down. This game could be much worse than what it is right now had it not been for this defense forcing a couple field goals. And now we have either delay of game or it's going to be offside. So it's going to be another flag here on the Mount Vernon that makes it just that much more manageable for New Pal.
Yeah, that was a critical error because you had them 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, and now it's 3rd and 1 or 3rd and a half yard, and it's pretty hard to stop that offensive line on this one. It'll be interesting to see what New Pal does.
And they're probably going to measure it here based off of where they walked it off and spotted the ball. And it looks like it may just be enough for a first down. You don't see them measuring a ball now all that often after they walk off a penalty. So it's going to be maybe just shy by a couple of chain links. And so it's going to be 3rd down and inches here. The officials so far doing a good job tonight calling a game. So we're inside of 2 minutes here in the first quarter. It's been a lengthy first quarter, to say the least. Here's Tippett. Fakes the handoff, has Thacker. First down and more. Outside along the sideline. Gets out outside of the tackler and goes all the way into the end zone for another Dragon touchdown. So it was a short yardage situation. Coach turns into points.
Yeah, you know, you'd think they'd run it, but they faked the inside zone and threw a little spot pass out there, and young man made a great play. He's a great athlete, though, Thacker. One of the many Thackers on that football team.
There are 3 Thackers on this New Pal squad, as Tanksley looks to make it 20-0 here in the first quarter, which, believe it or not, Coach, it's been a lot more competitive than what the scoreboard indicates because of the fact that Mount Vernon's defense has they had some early signs of light, but New Pal, they adapt so well against defenses no matter who they're facing.
Yeah, it looks like they brought a corner blitz, which means the safety's got to come over and make the play on the receiver. And it looks like 81 missed the tackle there, and the rest is history down the sideline.
And that was George Vernon on the missed tackle. So you have 90 seconds left to go here in the first quarter, and just taking a look at that play again from a different perspective. As you see, yeah, it was Vernon just getting out juked there by Thacker.
You get into that position, you got to use the sideline as your friend and use him as your assistant tackler. And just, you don't want to even bring him to the ground. Just put your head across the body and try to force him out of bounds. And but again, give credit to Thacker making him miss. And again, two great athletes going at it.
That's Thacker's third receiving touchdown this season. Had 124 yards on the season coming into the ball game. And there you see A.J. Ryerson lining up on special teams, and there's the kicker. Brendan Tanksley has done an excellent job kicking the ball tonight. 2 PATs and 2 field goals to his credit.
Another senior.
Line drive end over end, going to be taken by Bridenthal this time. He tries to find a hole. He really knows how to turn on those afterburners, but is stopped short on the coverage there by Nunnally. Talk about 3 sport athletes. Blaine Nunnally is certainly one of them here for New Palestine. Star football player here, but more of a star on the baseball field as well as basketball for the Dragons.
He makes a lot of plays on the defensive end. I know that. I think he has 30-some total tackles because with having that many tackles, obviously he plays on a lot of special teams as well as in the defensive end of it.
He also has a tackle for loss and an interception this season. So here again is Luke Ertl. Back to pass again. Quick out, has Etherington. And he tries to get out to the 40, just short of that, down to the 38.
That's nice throw and catch. Good design on offense by Coach Jacobs. It's darn near a running play here. They're going to play some tempo football now and see if they can move the football this way.
2 wideouts to his left. Low snap for Ertl, hands it off to Brogan. This time has some running room, but trips over his own feet out across the 45. But still a good for a first down right there for the Marauders.
There's a little trap there in the inside where they pulled the guard and trapped the tackle, and the tailback hit it up in there and made a nice run.
So the clock now ticking inside of 30 seconds. Etherington in motion. Handoff again. And a nice run up the gut there. As Drew Martin, the senior running back there for Mount Vernon.
That's about the third tailback they've used, so they're shuffling guys in and out there at the tailback position. And again, he looks like he had some speed there to hit it and get it.
Indeed he did. That's the end of quarter number 1, a 20-0 lead here for the New Palestine Dragons. Back in a moment here on 9 Star TV.
We got a little drive going.
At 9 Star Connect, our history spans back to the late 1800s, where family time, building livelihoods and neighborhoods, sharing stories of the day, and looking forward to chasing new dreams were important to all of us. Today, 9 Star still values these things. That's why we have a local 24/7, 365 support center. We are still here for you, as it's been for the past 125 years. At 9 Star Connect, we're a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Second quarter about to get underway here at Hancock Health Stadium. Here in Fortville, Indiana, the Mount Vernon Marauders in an early hole against New Palestine in front of a packed house here at Dillon Field as the Marauders working on offense right now here alongside Coach Bob Bartolomeo. I'm Kurt Darling. Coach, just seems to me like the Marauders kind of lacked a little bit of rhythm on offense there. They kind of started to get a little bit of it there to close out that first quarter.
Yes, they did, and made a couple first downs and, got a second and manageable here. So they got to keep going. And, again, they're doing a good job of mixing the run and the pass. Ran a nice little trap play. I'm sure he'll come back to that. Ran some quick outs that gained 5-7 yards on first down. So, this may be a time to take a shot here. Good field position, second and short. Let's see what happens.
So the Marauders moving the ball in plus territory. Here's the pitch to Martin again. He cuts back up to the middle, down for another big first down pickup to the 35-yard line. So Drew Martin, senior running back here. Haven't seen a whole lot of him so far this season, but he has a big gain right there. A couple of big plays here for the Marauders.
He's got some good feet. I tell you, he's you can see right now he can read his blocks and does a nice job. He jukes one guy there and did a nice job. Not a big guy, so he's not going to power anybody, but he definitely is a quick runner.
And look at that. He actually used the defender to stay up and off of the ground to roll over for at least a couple of yards right there. So 3 straight carries here for Drew Martin, and he's got them working inside the 32. As Luke Ertl having a tough time throwing the ball tonight, so the Marauders going with the ground game, and so far it's been working on this drive. Here's Ertl, going to throw it this time as Jones comes back to him, runs into his own teammate there, Etherington, but still gets something out of it across the 30.
Little X-hitch screen there on the outside. Again, it's just same as a running play, same as a sweep. And gained 3 or 4 yards, got it in third and manageable, and keep this drive alive.
Ertl now with 3 receivers to his left, including Burhan. Pitch again is to Martin, has some blockers. Gets down to the 20. And another first down here for Mount Vernon. So how about that, Coach? Drew Martin getting some big plays right there, and he gets a big break right here as he gets talked up by his OC.
Well, that's a good job by the senior, and that's something you expect your seniors to do, is to come out and play their best football and obviously take advantage of his opportunity, and that's what he's doing.
So now we have Brogan back in at the tailback position. And Brogan on the carry. And goes nowhere with that. Maybe picks up a yard as he's immediately tackled by that front line of New Pal. Looked like that was Brownfield there on the initial stop.
He's another freshman. They have a 6'2", 231-pound freshman, number 75, along with Eli Hook, made that tackle. A linebacker.
So the Marauders finally putting together a good drive here tonight.
They're also keeping the New Pals offense off the field. Nice job here.
And now a timeout going to be called by Mount Vernon to talk things over here on 2nd down and 9. So, Coach, just what are they doing? What is Mount Vernon doing differently that's just got them finally in a good rhythm?
Well, I think that, first of all, they changed the tailback, and he's making some guys miss. And also gaining some yards after contact, which is very important, those yak yards. I think they're mixing it up a little bit with Ertl, taking shots in terms of getting some short throws in there. They threw a nice X-hitch screen out there to gain some yards, so they're not trying to get it all at once. They're taking what the defense gives them and what the quarterback can do. And so, again, and the up front guys, that's a tough defense to run against consistently, so you got to mix it up. Ran a nice little trap play in there, so they've got some plays that they're gaining some yards on, and now with I'm sure Coach Jacobs has got it all charted down and got to come back to some of those plays.
This is a New Palestine team on defense, has 5 sacks 18 tackles for loss and 7 interceptions. Of course, all that goes out the window when you run the ball, as you see Eli Bridenthal going to be riding up here at quarterback for the first time tonight. And out of the Wildcat, and there is another one of those tackles for loss. New Pal read that play like a book. Coming in on that one there was Michael Thacker.
Michael Thacker is a player, 6'1", 268 sophomore. I remember watching him last year as a freshman. He's like Brownfield is on the other side, and just a playmaker, guy that makes plays in the backfield.
That's now his 9th tackle for loss this season. We're only 4 games in. That's just averaging just over 2 tackles for loss per game.
I think he got a D1 offer the other day. I was reading that in the paper somewhere, but he's a player. He's going to get nothing but better.
So 3rd down and long. Ertl steps up in the pocket, has to roll out, gets rid of it into the end zone and right into the hands of a New Palestine Dragon, Daniel Thacker. One of the other 2 supporting Thackers on this New Pal squad gets his 3rd interception of the season right there.
And that is nothing but a freshman mistake. He didn't have a play there. He really didn't. He was running to his right, and he's a left-hander trying to throw it across his body and just didn't get it done. He should have just tucked it and took the yardage and, play the next down. Live to play the next down, son.
Looking for Trey Jones right there. So a big turnover after a big drive from Mount Vernon comes up empty.
Yeah, the one thing it did, it ate a lot of time off the clock and kept the offense from New Pal off the field.
Grayson Thomas on the call there, gains a couple of yards.
The good part is they have a good field position now, so if they can go 3 and out and get the ball in the 50, inside the 50, they'll be in good shape again to get some points here before halftime.
This is a Mount Vernon defense that has held New Pal before, but that was on field goals. Here's Tippett in some trouble, close to his own goal line, gets out, finds Kropp, gets a first down, and Kropp has a lot of green in front of him. He is going to have one man to beat in Bridenthal. He doesn't beat him. He gets tackled out of bounds down to the 10-yard line. What a play, but we may have a flag back here at midfield.
Yeah, I didn't see I knew there was a big collision down here on the run. I don't know if it was a block in the back. They're calling holding, I think, and it's going to take this thing all the way back because it occurred at about the 30-yard line.
So it's going to be a first down because the hold is from the spot of the foul, so it'll be 10 yards from there as we get a look at the replay. I mean, what a play here by Daniel Tippett to make something out of nothing. And then there's the hold right there.
Right. They had a hold on the cornerback, DJ Johnson, and that bunch of flags started coming out. So
looks like that may have been Ty Mitchell, the guilty party there on the hold, playing the free safety spot there. So still going to be a first down once they get all the chains put where they're supposed to be. And they're going to keep walking it back. It actually, they'd have to gauge where the penalty yardage will be in relation to the first down marker to gain. So it will be a first down as confirmed here now by the chains moving. The ball's going to be placed at the 18-yard line. So Kyler Kropp exerting a lot of pressure there, or a lot of energy, all that for a measly 8 yards or so.
And they had a shot to get him tackled behind the line of scrimmage, and it was just a great play by the quarterback, Daniel Tippett, to stay alive and make that pass to Kropp.
So it's first down and 10 here. And the run up the gut there by New Pal again is Thomas. Solid gain of about a few yards. Grayson Thomas, though, by all accounts here, Coach, he's been held in check tonight mostly.
Good call. I was just thinking the same thing. He hadn't busted one or really got out and got after it. So that's a tribute to the up front guys of Mount Vernon. They're doing a good job. They're stunting and controlling their gaps and just, they're getting some hits in the backfield. They might be missing them, but at least they're slowing them down to let the pursuit to come and make plays.
And now a whistle. Looks like the officials weren't quite ready here to continue play, as NewPal looking to go a little up-tempo here. Of course, talking about Thomas, 477 rushing yards, so that's over 100 yards per game coming into this contest. He is well short of that so far here, as Tippett looks over trying to find Kropp on the other side of the field, but leads him a little bit too long out of bounds. So
yeah, he had him on an out and up and just overthrew him. And I think that's one he'd like to have back, because I think he had more time than he thought. And Kropp did a nice job of getting free from the safety on the out and up.
So another third down. Mount Vernon has been living on third down here so far today, but NewPal has been able to convert every time, as they're probably going to do right here, and they do, with Thacker getting across the 30-yard line. So NewPal has been faced with many third down situations this evening. They have only come up short on 2, and those still netted field goals.
A lot of respect for Thacker out there by the corner, Ren Davis, and understandably so. But again, you got to come up and challenge him a little bit more on a third down play. At least go to the sticks.
Here's Tippett going to Thacker again, one-on-one with Ren Davis, and this time you can see Ren Davis isn't having any of it. Gets right into the chest plate there of Thacker and limits the gain to about maybe 7.
That was a nice play. It's just an out. And, again, throw and catch. When you're going to give them that much space, that's what they'll take. So they're doing a good job of taking what the defense gives them. But, again, the defensive corner there, Ren Davis, made a nice hit on the young man.
Ren Davis already has a forced fumble this season, along with a tackle for loss.
2 seniors going at it.
Here's Thomas. This time with some blocking. Tries to open it up, but well protected on the coverage there was Eli Breidenthal, keeping Thomas from turning the corner.
Breidenthal did a nice job. I tell you, he's got a little second. He's got another gear. You can see him change speeds there out there on the football field, both as a receiver and also as a defensive player.
And here we are again on third down for Mount Vernon. The officials getting lined up here. And NewPal going to take their time. Handoff is to Thomas. He gets the first down.
It's a good job by the defense of not jumping. They tried twice there to quick count him or jerk count him, so to speak, with the quarterback's motion. And the one time previous, they got him to jump on a 3rd and short. And that time the D-line held their ground and didn't do it. And there's LaBelle making a play along with number 8, Jaden Gibson.
So a fresh set of downs for NewPal. Tippett in a lot of pressure as the pocket collapsed. Puts that one right at the feet of Kropp, incomplete.
Tell you, number 20 is an active kid, that Sean Taylor kid. He's 6'3", 170-pound junior. He's involved a lot in terms of making plays out there. And as I say that, he comes to the sideline to get a quick drink of water and get ready to get back out there. But he's been active and noticeable on their defense.
Tippett back again. Lots of time to throw. Dart over the middle, right into the chest of Thacker. Did he catch it, though?
No.
He did not. Just dropped it as he was falling to the ground there. That would have been a heck of a throw had he caught that. And so, again, 3 straight third downs here, Coach. At some point.
Yeah. Got to get off the field, right?
It's almost comparable to a pitcher and a batter going to a full count in baseball 3 times in a row. As you take a look at that throw again, right on the numbers, Thacker just couldn't come down with it. Here's Tippett again. Finds Thacker right at the first down marker, and a nice tackle by Ren Davis, and they're going to give forward progress about a yard shy of the first down. And now we have a player down on the field here for Mount Vernon, and it looks like it's DJ Johnson. But he's able to get up and shake it off.
Yeah, I think he just got the wind knocked out of him. 13 came back and laid a little bit of a block on him and knocked the wind out of him. There's a good look at it right there. Nice hit to the shoulder pad and got the wind knocked out of him. He'll be back.
But how about that tackle from Ren Davis? Kept him in front of him, kept him from getting the first down.
They got a chance. You know, that gave him a chance. As you said, it was a great stick. And, again,
NewPal knows how to play on 4th down, and that just like that, as Thomas careens his way across the field, stays up on his feet, and goes into the end zone for another touchdown for the Dragons. Oh, my goodness. How did he stay upright?
I don't know if he was down.
It looked like he was down to me, Coach, and he must have rolled on top of the defender or something because the whistle was not blown. Good presence of mind by the senior to keep going.
Heck of a play. Great athlete, you know, just, again, too bad for Mount Vernon that they didn't get him down on the ground. But credit to NewPal. Great run. Great run.
And so now NewPal's going to try and go for 2 here to make up for a couple of points left on the table from the field goals, and they convert to Nunnally. And that makes it back on track now for NewPal, 28-0. Here late in the first half. That was a heck of a play by Thomas. Let's take a look at it here.
He's hit. LaBelle's got him.
Oh, and his knee never went down.
LaBelle tackled him, but twisted him around, and he was on top of LaBelle's body, used his offhand to keep his balance, got up, and kept running. Heads-up play by that guy, I'll tell you. That's a very good athletic play. Again, had a chance and just didn't complete the process there of the tackle.
So about 45 yards there on the 4th down play, mind you, as we got a better look at it right here. LaBelle just staying with him. And just what a heads-up play. That knee did not go down. He is still up and moving.
That right knee, oh, boy, it's close.
That is not down.
All right,
I'll give it to you. That is a heads-up play there by Grayson Thomas.
You know, and I'm an old defensive guy, so I have a hard time, dealing with this. But anyways, good call.
Well, and as a defensive coach, like how do you coach through those moments right there? Because that's just one of those things where it's just like, what can you do?
Well, first of all, on the tackle, you just got to hang on for dear life, and somebody's got to come and help him. He was by himself for a while in making the tackle. It was a true solo tackle.
So here's a low squib kick here from Tanksley.
Oh, no.
And they may call that kicking out of bounds. That was awfully close. I think I saw a flag on the play here.
Yeah, I don't know. The kid touched it before it went out of bounds. He really didn't need to. But
and it looks like they picked up the flag pretty quickly.
I think the ball went out of bounds before he touched it. I think that's what they're saying here. So.
And that's indeed what's going to be the case here. So we'll take a look here. It's awfully close. Oh, I don't think that went out of bounds. Well, unless his knee was out of bounds when he touched the ball, which in that case would be kicking out of bounds.
Yeah, it was his right foot. I'm not sure.
Right there in front of the official, too. So He had the best look at it out of anybody here in the stadium. So the ball going to be placed at the 35-yard line because of the penalty kicking out of bounds. And once again, Mount Vernon with about 2 minutes and some change to work with here to try and put something on the board. Here's Ertl. Has to throw, looking for Burhan, and right in the breadbasket, and they're going to call pass interference. Oh, my goodness. Mason Hyatt on the coverage there, kind of a mismatch. And they're going to say Hyatt got into Burhan before the ball got there, and so that's going to be 15 yards from the previous spot and a first down here for Mount Vernon. And just kind of grabbed him a little bit.
Close call, very close. I thought it was a nice play by both guys, and again, play the next down.
So some free yardage right at the 50-yard line here for Mount Vernon. Here's Ertl, feeling the blitz, has to get rid of it, does not, instead is sacked in the backfield for a loss. And a big sack there for New Pal. Looked like that might have been Colton Wise there in on the sack. So back it up a couple yards, 2nd down and 12. Ertl gives it back off now to Martin. He had a big series of downs. We're actually out of bounds there.
Good job by Ryder Bush. He's getting outran, so he just used the sideline as his friend and pushed him out of bounds and got it to 3rd down. I think this is 4-down territory, though, for Mount Vernon.
Again, there you see Drew Martin. So far has had an excellent time running the ball here this evening. Makes it 3rd down and manageable for him. High snap, feeling the pressure. Ertl gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a tackle there for Ian Roudabush, as you mentioned there, Coach.
Yeah, he came off the edge there. They didn't have that protected, in terms of the whole line, the way they slid, the protection, and they had a free rusher. Whenever you ever have a free rusher, you're gambling with house money, so to speak. It's pretty hard.
So Mount Vernon going to call it's going to be a New Pal timeout here, as it's going to be 4th down and 3 yards to go. And just a nice play on the blitz there from Roudabush.
He's a good athlete. He's their backup quarterback. He played a little bit quarterback to start the season. But Coach was really high on him, 6'1", 204 senior that's played a lot of football for them.
Roudabush also has played a lot of basketball as well for New Pal. Lots of multi-sport athletes here.
Yeah, they do a great job of encouraging that, and Ralph does a good job of encouraging kids to play other sports, and I think that's real important for high school kids. To get specialized at their age level is sometimes a hindrance to their development as an athlete. Not all the time, but most of the time. I got an opinion on that one, don't I?
So here we go here with lots of multi-sport athletes on the football field at the moment. Inside of 2 minutes to go. 4th down and 3. Ertl going to hand it off now to Burhan. Cuts up the middle, gets a first down, stays on his feet, gets inside the 15, rides some tacklers all the way down inside of the 5. What a play by George Burhan to keep the drive alive for Mount Vernon. You wanted him, Coach.
Yep.
You got him.
Got the ball in his hands, yeah. Got the jet sweep. And, again, a lot of good blocks up front. Good blocks and a good cut by Burnham. Did a nice job of cutting inside their outside linebacker who was unblocked.
He made Daniel Thacker miss As Mount Vernon finally has a chance to score. Here's Martin cutting it right up the middle, and he is stood up just shy of the goal line. Going to be just inside of the 1. Can't get much closer than that.
They're down in there tight.
Mount Vernon going to try and avoid the shutout here in the first half as the clock now ticks closer to a minute to go. Erdl now with Martin behind him. Handoff again to Martin. Oh, and he gets clobbered in the backfield, and he fumbles the football, and NewPal comes up with it. Still waiting from the official signal from the official. Oh, my goodness, Coach. What a demoralizing turn of events here for the Mount Vernon Marauders. Martin is careened in the backfield by Raines and Thacker. Coughs it up, and NewPal comes up with it.
Well, it came in unblocked there. Thacker came out from the outside one way unblocked, and the other one came from the other way. Couldn't see who that other one was. Was that Nunley coming from the other way? 12?
Looked like that was Blaine Nunnally. Nunnally and Thacker getting in on that one.
Kind of sandwiched them between them, didn't they? Got the ball loose, and got to hang on to that football down in that, especially down in that territory.
First forced fumble of the season there for Michael Thacker. And now here's Thomas. Picks up a first down out across the 15-yard line, and that'll stop the clock.
Yeah, Mount Vernon's got to get out of the half here, so don't let them do anything here. Grayson Thomas, he can break one at any time, so be smart. Play your positions, play your gaps, keep them inside, and get it to the second half.
And Mount Vernon going to call their final timeout here of the half. And, man, if you're Coach Leidy, you have a tall task of keeping the morale up on your side of the football field here, as especially after that untimely turnover, to say the least. I know that's an understatement.
Yeah, he's giving them words of encouragement, that's for sure, and trying to coach them up and how to play their techniques and try to keep the ball inside. It got outside of them there, and that ended good with Grayson Thomas running the football.
Thomas is now starting to get into a rhythm running the football after he had been mostly held in check by the Marauder defense in the first half. But, of course, NewPal went to their many other weapons that they have. Kyler Kropp has a touchdown, Isaiah Thacker a touchdown, and Thomas a touchdown. So if one doesn't work, they can always go to another.
They have some weapons, don't they? Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Got a good football team.
First down here for NewPal.
I'd say Ralph's going to probably take some shots here.
Tippett puts it out here now to Thacker. And he gets tackled out of bounds there by Breidenthal.
Ralph's an aggressive guy, so he's not going to hold back here. He's going to try to get some points here before the half somehow, some way.
NewPal managing the clock here a little bit as they stop it at 30 seconds with Thacker getting out of bounds. Tippett with time over the middle. Leads Nunnally a little bit too long. That would have been a touchdown had they connected.
Yeah, they split the secondary guys there, and Nunnally looked like they had a step to the goalpost, but again, overthrew him, and nothing but a long out, as they say.
Blaine Nunnally has been mostly quiet tonight on offense, but has been very loud on defense. One of the few two-way players here for this NewPal squad. Second down and 10 here for NewPal. Handoff is to Thomas, but we had a flag, or rather a whistle, not a flag, before the snap. And they're going to actually get a flag here. It's going to be offsides on Mount Vernon, just to kind of add insult to injury here.
Hey, you can't beat yourself, and again, that's one of the first times that they've got a defensive penalty. So get it second down, play the next down, play the next down.
This New Pal team certainly has an essence of making teams kind of beat themselves, as you and I saw on full display 2 weeks ago when this New Pal team played Decatur Central. Here's Thomas, sheds a tackler. Flag on the play as he gets a first down, and I think there might be another face mask call here on Mount Vernon, as I saw Tyler Kimberly's hand get up there in the face of Thomas as he was running. We'll see what the officials have to say about it. And indeed, face mask is the call. So that'll add an additional 15 yards from the end of the run.
Just running an inside zone there. And
just a slight swipe of the face mask.
Yeah, he didn't get much of it, did he?
So now New Pal will call a timeout here.
I'd say they're going to try and set up their 2-minute offense so that they have, 19 seconds left, and, they want to talk things over. Well, they have timeouts left. I can't
There's
see
one timeout left here for New Pal.
Yeah, get the 2-minute offense. Talk about, getting out of bounds. If you get tackled inbounds, we got to hurry up, get on the ball, and execute the 2-minute offense. So it's a good practice opportunity, so to speak, for New Pal to get going with their 2-minute drill. And they've done a nice job of moving the football, but now they have 19 seconds left, and it's kind of time to take some shots and see what happens there.
So they started this drive with well less than a minute to go. They've moved the ball pretty much half the field in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
Of course, it feels like forever in actual time, but they've only shed a couple of seconds off of the clock here, keeping it out of bounds whenever they can.
Doing a good job, mixing some runs, with Grayson, who can break it at any time, and his runs have been 10 yards, 12-yard runs, so it'll be interesting to see. And on the other side, on the flip side, Mount Vernon's got to get some pressure on the quarterback here and be able to hold their ground in the back end.
Tippett drops the snap, picks it up quickly, though. Has to negate the pressure and just throws it out of bounds.
Smart play there, by the quarterback. He knew the play was doomed from the beginning because of his drop. And, the timing was off on it and that type of thing. So, and he didn't take the sack. And he was able to get rid of the football and play the next down.
Tippett, the senior quarterback, certainly plays like a senior. Coming in a long line of other quarterbacks before him. Tippett also transferred, though, from Warren Central to New Pal during the offseason. And now the officials having a slight conference here at about the 45-yard line.
I don't know if they see blood on the jersey from somebody or
I think they're checking to see if somebody is bleeding. They're having the offensive linemen kind of show them their arms here right now to, if they are seeing blood on a jersey, trying to find out who it's coming from. Nothing to the eye here at the moment, and we'll resume play. Second down. Tippett has a big pocket, finding Nunnally again. This time they connect, but it's a lot closer this time with Jaden Gibson with the touchdown-saving tackle.
Same play as before where they had Nunnally open and he overthrew him. They ran a little post route here by Nunnally and did a great job.
And just like that here, Coach, New Pal will call their final timeout to try and set up what could possibly be the running clock forcing play here going into halftime.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think he'll kick a field goal here. I'd say he'd probably go for the kill here, take one shot at 6 seconds. You'll probably got enough for one play, and you got to make sure you get out of bounds. Remnants of the LSU game the other night where that receiver was lucky to get out of bounds with no timeouts left.
That was a heck of a game.
Great game. Great college football game. There were a bunch of them. Thursday night was the Boilers, and Friday was the Hoosiers, and Saturday night was the Notre Dame game, and now we got NFL football on Sundays. Here we go.
Here we go. The Colts playing the Texans coming up here on Sunday, excuse me. Meanwhile, we've got a nice orange moon starting to rise over Fortville here out to the east.
Is that what they call a harvest moon?
Pretty close. Certainly around that time.
I'm a city guy. I don't know these moons there. All right, here we go.
So 6 seconds left here to work with for NewPal.
Got to do a good job of not taking too much time so that they can get 2 plays in 6.7 seconds.
Tippett gets rid of it early. Puts it up for Nunnally. He gets it in the end zone. What a catch by Nunnally. Touchdown, NewPal. And just like that, Coach, if the PAT is true from Tanksley on this subsequent special teams play, we could have a running clock going into the second half.
What a great catch. 45 seconds. They went, 95 yards? It was unbelievable.
There's Nunnally.
Great drive. Great catch. Great throw, too.
And that is his first touchdown catch of the season. They went 95 yards in 45 game seconds. Just goes to show you how good this NewPal team is. So 35-0, Coach. And now it's a whole new football game as far as Mount Vernon is concerned because they're going to have a lot less time to work with going into the second half.
That's about as well executed as you can for a 45-second drive, and again, would they go 95?
95 yards
95
in 45
yards.
seconds.
Really well executed. It's a sign of a well-coached football team, and again, the big play was Nunnally to the post, and then the Nunnally touchdown. So 2 big plays by that young man.
One of those many explosive plays that NewPal has certainly patented under the Kyle Ralph regime, to say the least.
That's correct. And as you said, Grayson has been visible, but not the Grayson that we've come to know in terms of big plays all the time. So you stop them one way and they get you in the other. So that's a sign of a good football team and a good offensive team, and obviously defensively they're pitching a shutout here.
So it's homecoming night here at Mount Vernon, but right now NewPal kind of spoiling the festivities here as they go up 35-0 again at halftime. As they'll squib it. And covering up the ball there is Jackson Hill. And so they'll have 0.7 seconds here to at least get a kneel down here before we go to halftime. And now if you're Coach Leidy, you just kind of talk up your players at halftime, but your Coach Ralph, it's pretty much been business as usual.
Well, Kurt, I think we were on the other end last year. Didn't we have these guys, and it was a running clock the other way last year, believe it or not. I know I was at the game. I'm not sure if you were.
I don't think I was at
there,
the game.
But I was there, and I honest to gosh, it was 35-0. Mount Vernon was whooping on them pretty good, and they had a running clock in the second half, and that's kind of where we are right now.
So the battle for the boundary rail looking in the hands of NewPal going into halftime, 35-0 here in Fortville. Halftime coming at you next here on 9 Star TV.
My name is Patty Potty, and I'd like to talk to you about all those kinds of convenience products. People are flushing down the toilet, clogging up our sewer system, and causing expensive repair bills. They might flush down, but they sure don't flush out. Make sure you trash them. Don't flush them, only flush the 3 P's. Pee, poo, and paper. Toilet paper, that is. And remember, no wipes in those pipes.
This important message was brought to you by 9 Star Connect, your water and sewer provider.
Well, you can expect a quick second half here in Fortville, here on 9 Star TV, as it is a 35-0 deficit for Mount Vernon against the New Palestine Dragons. Coach Bob Bartolomeo, Kurt Darling here with you as we have a full moon tonight shining over Fortville. As you can see on your screen right now, it's homecoming here at Mount Vernon High School. But needless to say, Coach, kind of a spoiled homecoming to say the least, as New Pal really took it to them, especially in that second half, even though Mount Vernon put up some valiant efforts on defense.
Yeah, I think that, Mount Vernon had some chances. They did a great job, a great service to themselves early on by holding them to field goals when New Pal had the ball in great field position, marched it down inside their 10. And at the same time, their defense rose to the occasion, held them to field goals. But their New Pal's just got too much firepower. And on top of that, I think something that gets overlooked is the New Pal defense. They're doing a great job of keeping the Mount Vernon guys out of the end zone. And there's a look right there of the big turnover at the 2-yard line there in the second quarter, which allowed New Pal to go 95 yards and go up by 35.
That was Drew Martin on the fumble that was coughed up there by Michael Thacker, getting his first forced fumble of the season. But there have been many other plays as well, such as this one in the early going by Kalen Kropp to get his first touchdown of the game.
Yeah, the quarterback triplet, he's a good kid, and he's a good player, and he runs that offense and picks and chooses, does a great job with the running the offense for New Pal. They can do it all. I think they're doing a good. They can run it, they can throw it, and they can also they have some speed on the outside where they can get deep on you. So, very complete football team, the New Pal Dragons.
So now you're Mount Vernon. You get the football to start the second half, but you do it with the added fact that you are going to have a running clock for the remainder of the game. We have that reached that 35-point threshold as put forth by IHSAA rules, so that means the clock will only stop whenever there is a timeout or a penalty of such. Otherwise, it will keep running even if it is an incompleted pass. In fact, this is going to be the third game in a row that New Pal has forced a running clock on their opponent.
Yeah, I think that just goes to show you what type of football program, football team they have this year. Coach has got and he knows he's got a good team. And again, kids got to perform, and they've come out and performed each and every week.
So here's Brendan Tanksley, who has accounted for 8 of the points scored of the 35 for New Pal. He kicks it short, and it's going to be taken here by Drew Martin, who was one of the few bright spots for Mount Vernon in that first half. He came in, had some excellent runs in a series there early in the second quarter, but the one big skid mark is the fact that he had that big fumble right there at the goal line, which prevented Mount Vernon from scoring a touchdown that could have avoided the running clock here. But needless to say, we are in that situation now. So Luke Ertl, the freshman quarterback who has had some ups and downs tonight, has been throwing the ball well, just hasn't been able to exactly find his receivers. He's also had an interception as well.
Yeah, he's made some nice throws, but he's also, played like a freshman at times. So he's just got to settle down and take what they give him.
And that throw is high of his receiver, Eli Breidenthal, who, believe it or not, Breidenthal has not caught a pass tonight, even though he has been one of the bright spots in receiving so far for Mount Vernon this season. He has 9 receptions for 190 yards coming into this contest.
Yeah, you got a little high. You got to get your feet set and just relax and take what they give you. He had a wide open receiver there and just overthrew him.
2nd down and 10, ball at the 30. Trying again, this time has Breidenthal, gets his first catch of the night out to the 35.
Kid throws a nice football. I'm really impressed with for him being only a freshman, and does a great job. Snap of the wrist there, and a nice tight spiral comes out. Really impressed with him as a true freshman.
Definitely potential to work with there for Coach Leidy over the next 3 years.
Big down here. They got to keep it going here, and don't worry about the clock. Just take what they give you and try to get a drive going.
Looking deep now, this time for Burhan. Oh, through the breadbasket and incomplete. That was a well-thrown ball there by Ertl, and Burhan just couldn't come down with it.
Well, you can't ask more from your quarterback, that's for sure. He set his feet and threw a spiral and threw it nice and in a very catchable mode. And again, Big George, you got to make that catch.
So no fault of the freshman Ertl there on that throw. He put that right in the breadbasket. And Burhen with another drop this season. And now this time another punt coming from Mount Vernon. And it'll take a Marauder bounce down inside the 30. And so once again, we'll see New Palestine come out here on offense. We'll see what Coach Ralph decides to do here, because he has been known in the past to kind of put in some subs here whenever they reach that 35-point threshold, but looks like we're going to keep the first team offense on the field for the time being.
Yeah, I think in the third quarter, and especially to start the second half, you got to get your kids going, and just so that they get into a routine of starting the half over and get into that mode, so to speak.
Daniel Tippett has had a superb night as quarterback, as has Thomas at running back. He sheds a bunch of tacklers, gets into the second level out past the 50.
Yeah, there's Thomas. You can't go to sleep on him now. He'll make you miss, and then it's he's got the speed to explode down that sideline. Did a nice job.
And Thomas is got to be approaching the 100-yard mark rushing here so far tonight. He has not rushed for less than 100 yards at all this season.
He made two men miss, and there's number 20 again chasing him down, Sean Taylor. Again, I'm impressed with him. Not a very big kid, but he is active. 6'3", 170-pound junior, and he's making some plays out there.
But right now we got an encroachment on Mount Vernon, so that'll give an extra 5 yards to New Pal.
And
Tippett with the handoff again to Thomas. And he's corralled up there by Mount Vernon. And you had Ethan Lynch on the tackle there from the linebacker spot.
They had a hard time getting their subs off the field there and got called for a penalty, which was declined, and they'll take the gain and the first down.
And so just to compliment even more about how well Coach Nuke Powell is, Kyle Ralph in his 10th year as the head coach of the Dragons never had a losing season. He's only lost 10 games in 10 seasons, so averaging 1 loss per season, mind you. Granted, he had 4 losses last season, as there's a big tackle in the backfield there by Tyler Kimberly.
Kimberly, as you pointed out in the first half, is their leading tackler as a down guy, 6'3", 225-pound junior. He's made some plays tonight, been active up front.
So New Pal has made the jump back down to Class 4A this season after winning a couple of state championships in Class 5A earlier on in their run there in that class, but over the last 2 seasons they had come up short, and so by success factor they came back down here to Class 4A, where they're playing on an even playing field with Mount Vernon, in spite of the fact of losing to Mount Vernon the last 2 seasons. The Marauders ended up going on to win the Hoosier Heritage Conference Championship. Mount Vernon has won 19 straight HHC games coming into tonight. Needless to say, that streak is in jeopardy here.
Nice play by LaBelle there, shedding the block of 68 and making the tackle.
Tippett over the middle, nearly intercepted there by Jaden Gibson as Tippett was looking for Thacker again. Daniel Tippett has not thrown an interception yet this season. And actually, that would have been Ren Davis on the coverage there.
Great play by Ren there, 5'11", 165-pound senior. Nice play, making his break at the last minute there and knocking it down, saving a potential big gain. 4th down, money down here.
And New Pal going to go for it here, which is pretty much business as usual for the Dragons in this situation. They rarely punt the ball when they are in plus territory outside of field goal range. And a timeout going to be called, though, here by New Pal.
They had trouble deciding what fourth down play they wanted to run, and the clock kind of ticked down on them, and wisely just called a timeout. But, again, it does stop the clock on a timeout.
So we started the clock. We started this half literally about eight minutes ago, and that's about how much time has turned off the clock here. It goes pretty quick when you have the running clock situation. As New Pal tonight looking to try and take the lead in the HHC standings here this season. Right now they're in a four-way tie with Mount Vernon, also Pendleton Heights and Delta. Granted, all of those teams have only played one conference game, thus one conference win. So now New Pal going to try and separate themselves from the fold here, granted on how well Delta and the rest of the other teams do on that regard. So we're inside of 5 minutes here as Tippett going to take the snap here on fourth down. He's pressured. Makes his man miss. Ooh, and we have a Mount Vernon Marauder down in the backfield as Kyler Kropp makes the catch inside of the 5. But Roland Trimble is down in the offensive backfield there as Tippett made him miss, and he is not getting up. And so the Mount Vernon training staff going to come out here to the aid of Roland Trimble. There you see him down right there at about midfield. Looked like he just may have tweaked a knee or something because it was really awkward how Tippett made him miss.
I was kind of watching the defensive back, so I kind of missed that part of it. Maybe get it there on a replay. But, again, I was kind of watching the play develop from the back end. And, again, nice play by Tippett and keeping the play alive and making a play when the protection broke down.
But how about this here, Coach? You have Roland Trimble down at midfield right now. Coach Leidy out there tending to his player, but guess what? So is Kyle Ralph of New Pal. That is excellent sportsmanship shown there by the New Pal sideline. They're also down on knees as well.
Yeah, nobody wants to see anybody get hurt, and hopefully the young man is okay and can get up and find his way to the sideline. But, again, it's nobody wants to see anybody, lose their playing time through an injury. He's a good player, too. He's made some plays tonight. 54, 6'3", 295-pound junior.
So next week, New Palestine again going to be traveling up to Pendleton, as the game will be up there at John Broughton Field. Kickoff at about roughly 7:30 or so. You can catch that right here on 9-Star TV. You can also catch that live on our streaming services on our YouTube page. Just check it out more at YouTube at 9-Star TV. New Palestine taking on Pendleton Heights next week. Should be a good one. Meanwhile, Roland Trimble being helped off of the field. All right, John, they're saying that they're going to put 3 minutes on the clock back once this clock runs out. So we'll probably go at 2 minutes before
for the young man's
kickoff,
sake, that
whichever way it falls.
A tweak, and he can come back, get some treatment this week, and might be done for a week or so, but come back and enjoy the season, because he's a factor in their football team on the D-line.
Roland Trimble, 4 tackles and a sack and a forced fumble coming into this contest. Meanwhile, after the big play to Kyler Kropp, there's Thomas trying to punch it in, but comes up a yard short. So Kyler Kropp looking now for his 7th touchdown of the night right here. He gets the call again, and this time he gets it. He's into the end zone for another big touchdown here for New Palestine. And that'll make it 41-0 here with late in the third quarter.
I would say they may keep their ones in on defense just to get them going one time, and then then I'd say they'll start playing some of their subs here.
And correction, that's actually Grayson Thomas's 10th touchdown of the season. as Tanksley puts the PAT through the uprights, and it is good. He has not missed kicking the ball at all here in this contest, making it 42-0.
Good surge by the O-line up front, and sometimes those guys get overlooked. You know, they're big, they're physical, but again, they're doing the job up front and paving the way for Grayson to make some plays there and do all the running behind him.
Ian Moore and Luca Burgess, the left and right tackles there for New Pal, as we talked about in the pregame. You also have Ben Percival, Trey Keeley, and Thomas Wood. All 4 seniors and a junior. Moore, the only junior, going to be returning on that O-line here next season for New Pal.
And they're all big kids. I mean, they go, 290, 258, 273, 280, and 290. So they are a big, big offensive line up front for New Pal. You can see why they poke some holes in that defense.
New Pal is also well-traveled tonight. I can't remember the last time, Coach, I've seen an opposing bleachers stands completely filled, standing room only.
Yeah, it's quite a feat and quite an testament to the following of the New Pal following, and hats off to them. Great job of following their high school team, and I think everybody has a sense that they have something special going on this year.
So Tanksley with another short kick, and it looked like Ethan Lynch on the coverage there. Or rather, actually, Drew Martin. He caught the ball with a knee on the ground, so that's him giving up right at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake there by the young man. He just didn't realize that he was going down with his knee, and, once you do that, then it's over in terms of the ball being placed down. And first down.
And now if you're Mount Vernon, essentially this is just growing pains. Coming off of a heck of a year where you lost a lot of talent from a state championship winning team. Next man up mentality here for Mount Vernon as they try to kind of salvage some things and maybe learn a few things as they get ready to go to Delta next week for their first road game since the month of August.
I see some ones in there for New Pal right now, and again, like I said, they're trying to let these kids get an idea how it feels coming out after halftime and getting back into the swing of things. And
here's Breidenthal facing up against 3 defenders for New Pal and gets tackled, but enough for a first down. So this will take us inside of a minute here with the fourth quarter coming.
Nice throw and catch. Good throw by the young freshman there out to Breidenthal. And again, great play.
Long pass, wide open is Trey Jones. Finally connecting there is Luke Ertl. And finally, Mount Vernon in for a touchdown. Trey Jones from Luke Ertl going just over 60 yards.
He beat Daniel Thacker out there, and not sure on the route. I was kind of watching the protection. But, again, nice throw and catch. Ertl being real impressive here to me as a true freshman, putting it out there and letting the young man run underneath it and catch the ball and run.
So this brings on kicker Rylan Vinard for the first time here today for the PAT. And it's low and no good. He just shanks it off the left side.
That didn't look good from the start. It was a kind of a high snap, and again, couldn't see the route again, but again, the receiver got by the DB, and he wasn't going to catch him, and it looked like he can run a little bit there and scooted on into the end zone. But a nice throw by the freshman quarterback again, who is very impressive here so far.
So the clock runs down to zeros here. And they're going to have to reset the clock here because we're still in the third quarter here. Now, they may have to put some time back on the clock because the clock was still running, but the clock is, from my understanding, supposed to be stopped. But it looks like they're going to recognize it. And so they're going to, we'll see what they decide to do here.
I think he's going over to talk to Coach Ralph and
because
see what he wants to do here.
They may just roll with this here because
that doesn't have an effect on the game, really.
So it's still showing third quarter, and now they are going to go to the fourth quarter, so we will take a timeout. So we'll take a timeout. Back in a moment here on 9 Star TV.
Who knew that 9 Star Connect, a local smart utility, has the fastest internet in Indiana? 9 Star offers speeds up to 2 gig. That's upload and download speeds. Try getting that from any other provider. No data limits or caps on speed. The speed you pay for is the speed you get. 9 Star has state-of-the-art fiber optics with a dedicated line to each house. 9 Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. Who knew?
At 9 Star Connect, our history spans back to the.
All right, we'll wait for the 2-minute mark here once they start this clock. Right back into action here in the fourth quarter here on 9 Star TV. There was a hard hit on the special teams coverage there from Mount Vernon. That was Trey Fox losing his helmet on that play. As Daniel Thacker was on the return.
It's kind of a funky kick. He kicked it high and it just timed up perfectly for Fox to come down and lay the wood there on Mr. Thacker. No harm done. 1st and 10.
Alongside Coach Bob Bartolomeo, I'm Kurt Darling. And it's been all New Palestine, as you can see by the scoreboard here in this one. And New Pal again looks like they're going to keep most of the first team players out there at the moment. As they've got, once again, Grayson Thomas and Daniel Tippett here in at quarterback. Thomas on the carry. And he punches ahead for about 11 yards and a first down. So, Coach, with that big pass catch there for Trey Jones from Luke Ertl, I mean, given the situation of this team, obviously you're not in any position to win this game if you're Mount Vernon, but, you know, how important was that to at least get something positive going forward into the next game?
Oh, without a doubt, and I think it just instills confidence in that young quarterback's mind that he can compete and can throw it, can make plays. Looks like New Pal pulled some of their guys now, and they got some of the younger kids in there and guys that don't get a lot of snaps.
So here's Brady Armstrong on the quarterback keeper, and he has a lot of running room, lots of blocking as he gets across the 30 of Mount Vernon down to the 25.
And I think Mount Vernon's done the same thing. They're playing some young kids here, and again, they practice hard, you know, and put their time and effort into it. So why not let them get a shot at playing on Friday night and getting underneath the lights and having a crack at it? You never know when you'll find somebody.
Brady Armstrong turning on the afterburners there. 3 carries, 33 yards, and a touchdown coming into this contest. Pretty much just doubled that total right there on that one singular run. So Armstrong still in here at quarterback. And a flag on the play as Armstrong was looking to hand the ball off there to Thacker. And it'll be a false start here on New Pal. So just walk it back five yards here, and you know, you sometimes expect a few flags from kids who haven't played a whole lot of snaps.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's all part of playing, too, because you never know. They're an injury or two away from, you know, having to be able to carry the load there on a Friday night when it counts.
First and long for Armstrong. Hands it off now to Thacker. And he makes up most of the penalty yardage back, getting back to close to the original line of scrimmage. So with the 6 points given up here by New Pal on top of the 13 that they let go to Yorktown and the 0 to Decatur Central a week before, New Pal's defense has only given up 19 points in 3 games now.
Yeah, again, like I said before, sometimes that defense gets overlooked because of their powerful offense, but they're They got it all, the complete package. It's a good job by Coach Ralph. He's letting the clock go down to, before it runs out and then snapping the football. So they're limiting the number of plays, the number of snaps that their offense can run. And I think that's a great show of sportsmanship.
Keeping the ball on the ground, too, as Armstrong again on the keeper. Of course, I mentioned, sometimes you see a lot of mistakes from kids who haven't played a whole lot of snaps. But mind you, NewPal might be a slight exception to that rule because, given the state over the last 3 games, a lot of these, second-team players have really gotten a lot of snaps in these situations.
You're right. There's no excuse for those kids. They'll get coached up tomorrow just like everybody else, I'm sure.
Armstrong again here on the keeper. And he's still short of a first down, but a nice gain of about maybe 5 or 6 yards. As the clock continues to roll down. So this will be New Palestine's 370th win in program history here tonight. This will also be their 36th win against Mount Vernon and snaps a 2-game losing streak to the Marauders. And now on 4th down and 5 here.
I think they're trying to hit a field goal and they're having a little trouble getting the.
And so NewPal is just going to take a timeout here as they let the clock run down as far as they can without getting a penalty.
Yeah, I think they just want to try and get their kicker some experience from kicking from a little longer distance. So I understand that one.
He's a right-footed kicker, so he'll be kicking from the right hash. So he's going to be kicking across his body here as Brendan Tanksley has hit a couple field goals so far this season. He has only missed 1 all year long.
They had to go find some of those linemen. They thought their night was over. They had to go find some of those big guys to come out there on that field goal team. Guys are back there chewing the fat with the crowd behind them.
So here's Brendan Tanksley now from about 36 yards away. Clean snap. And the leg is there, but it is just pulled wide right and no good.
Yeah, I don't think he got a good hit into that. It just didn't seem like it was a good swift kick, so to speak. Didn't get a lot of punch into that kick.
So second field goal miss of the year there for Brendan Tanksley. He had made 2 earlier in this contest when it was a little bit more competitive. That's the thing. Mount Vernon held NewPal out of the end zone on their 2 first drives. As you see, that one pushed pretty far to the right there by Tanksley. So we change possession here on downs as the ball is going to be placed at the 20-yard line. And more valuable reps here for the freshman quarterback Luke Ertl. And a whistle before the snap. Trying to get the ball to Chris Edmonds, who has not had a whole lot of touches here this evening from the backfield. He's the starting H-back for Mount Vernon. And that's another thing talking about here with this one. As you see, Edmonds lose his footing out of bounds there. So the traveling trophy, the boundary rail, going to be returning to NewPal for the first time in 2 seasons. After making a pretty comfortable home in NewPal there for the first about 14 years or so. And here's Ertl feeling the pressure across his body and just throws it away.
I think he panicked a little bit there. He didn't need to get outside the pocket so fast. He could have came back, and they had some pressure from the outside on the to his left, but at the same time, I thought that he got out of there a little bit fast and almost looks like it was a called little sprint out action. But anyways, next down.
Inside of 4 minutes. Ertl standing in the pocket this time, directing some traffic. Instead, tries to just fight across the line of scrimmage, maybe gains a yard on that one. So the Mount
still competing, you know, and like to see that. Like to see him hit a couple passes here, just to instill a little more confidence in him, and again, in the whole offense.
So Mount Vernon going to go on the road next week here against Delta to continue conference play, as will New Palestine. Neither of these teams going to be at home next week as the pass goes through the arms of Chase Edmonds, incomplete. New Palestine going to be traveling to Pendleton Heights. As we talked about earlier, we'll have that game right here on 9 Star TV. Kickoff at 7:30 for that one. Pendleton Heights in another similar situation as Mount Vernon, where they have a lot of players just kind of next man up mentality after losing a lot of talent. There you see again right there. September 16th will be live on our YouTube channel as well as on demand on 9 Star TV the following Saturday. Catch it all right here on 9 Star TV. So 2.5 minutes left to go in this blowout. As New Palestine takes over on downs. Handoff is to Thacker. And he's tackled right at the 20-yard line. New Palestine going to be moving to 4-0 on the year. This will be Kyle Ralph's 108th win of his 10-year career here in New Palestine.
It's good these kids get some reps here both ways. Both teams kind of emptying the bench there and letting them get some live in action on a Friday night. It's good for the program.
Grayson Thomas has had an excellent night tonight. His night is done. As this time the handoff is going to go to Bryce Doss of New Palestine. Grayson Thomas had 2,866 career rushing yards coming into tonight. He is approaching that 3,000-yard mark, to say the least, after tonight. He is probably right around that 100-yard rushing mark. We don't have official stats in front of us, but as I mentioned before, he had not had a game where he had rushed for less than 100 yards so far this year.
And he's only a junior, so he got another year to a year and a half here, really. Just not even halfway through the season yet in 22.
So now New Pal going to come out here in victory formation as the clock will continue to run down. They'll have to run one more play with the play clock. And that will pretty much do it here for this one, as again, New Palestine getting program win number 370 tonight. Undefeated continued as they move to 4-0 on the year. Meanwhile, New Palestine, Mount Vernon, will be dropping to 1-3, also 1-1 in conference play. And so it looks like the officials are just going to let this one run down here despite the penalty, with the running clock and everything regardless. That'll do it. So that's it here. Coach Bob Bartolomeo as New Palestine with another convincing win, 42-6. And the boundary rail is going to be returning to New Palestine.
Great game on New Pal's part. Thought Mount Vernon hung in there early, but just didn't have enough firepower to hang with New Pal. New Pal's a good football team. They'll be hard to beat.
So once again, New Palestine going to be going to Pendleton Heights. You can catch that game right here on 9 Star TV next week. Mount Vernon, they are going to be going up to Delta. Kickoff at 7:30 in that one as they continue HHC play. Coach, been a pleasure working with you tonight, my friend.
Always a pleasure. You do a great job, Kurt.
Likewise to you as well. For all of us here at 9 Star TV, I'm Kurt Darling for Coach Bob Bartolomeo saying so long You've been watching IHSA football here on 9 Star TV. So long, everybody.